Another big sports fan, by the way, joins us this morning. Mark Schremmer is here, Dave. You know Mark?
We do indeed. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, how are you guys?
Fantastic, man. Thanks for joining us here this morning.
Oh, of course.
One of the things that, well, there's a couple of things that came up last week, and I know that you're interested in it, and that's the Transport Jobs Act, which, man, you know what? I'd like to meet the guys. There must be a guy in Washington who makes up names for bills. Transport, transitioning, retiring, and new service members to Port, Ocean, Rail, and Truck Jobs Act. My question about this is, given what Fastport does, and we're in the Fastport studios here, and their idea of you can be veteran friendly, or you can be veteran ready. And I think everybody is pretty much veteran friendly, and that's as far as it goes. This bill from Tom Barrett, who is a 22-year Army vet, a helicopter pilot, does a lot for veterans. He's got a couple of bills in Congress right now for veterans. Is this trip, as Bugs Bunny would say, is this trip really necessary? Is this just a piling on? What is this bill? Does this bill offer something that the others don't?
You know, I don't know. We were actually I was kind of talking to some people kind of amongst ourselves here at Landline about that last week, and it's kind of hard to tell. Like, as you guys are both well aware, there, a good percentage of truck drivers already are veterans, and it's not like that they're that transition and that jump, that leap hasn't been happening over the years. So I totally respect the idea of kind of removing some barriers, and certainly making as many opportunities for military veterans to get into whatever next phase of their profession are, and if trucking's the right fit for them, then absolutely. But yeah, it is interesting to see if these type of things are really where it's at. But they definitely sound good, and you're also well aware of how many people talk about the idea that being a driver shortage. OIDA obviously refutes that, and you can see that in a lot of the information that has come from academics. Bureau of Labor Statistics have said that there isn't a driver shortage. There's been a lot out there that has refuted that. One thing I'll say about this bill is that is not necessarily the avenue. They don't. A lot of times when they introduce these, they'll say the driver shortage. This is why we need to do this or that. They're not touting that as much in this bill. But yeah, if we can make the path easier for a military veteran to get into trucking, if that's what they want to do, I don't think that that's a bad idea. Obviously, there's going to be a better chance for them being ready to go and have some experience there.
Well, the other thing is, too, is that this, unlike a lot of attempts to onboard, essentially kids, to put more kids on the road or to kind of accelerate the training process, this actually is bringing people into the industry who expect stability, who expect to be paid, and who care deeply about their family. Not that everybody doesn't, but these people are looking for an opportunity for a career, which also sets up not filling it. I think there's a driver shortage, Mark, but I think it's a shortage of quality drivers who are willing to stick around because they get paid enough to do what they're supposed to do. If you're onboarding these men and women, they fall into the category of the kind of folks that OIDA supports as well, where it's like, we love having you, because they're the kind of people that are going to fight for that kind of stuff. I want to shift gears here because you just recently wrote a story where you kind of let the facts speak for themselves and kind of laid it out beautifully. You simply let people know truckers are paying 20 times more in Highway Trust Fund contribution. I know these numbers, and I was still staggered in seeing them in print. Does it ever cease to amaze you how much more trucks pay than people on the highway?
No, it doesn't. And one of the things that's interesting, and a lot of this came from the OID Foundation, and they do a fantastic job over there of uncovering some of this information. But one of the things that's interesting about it, even when you talk about the amount of weight and damage that trucks do as opposed to a passenger vehicle, even the harshest critics will say that that at the extreme it might be like 40 cents a mile, but or somewhere in there. But if you look at it, even those harshest critics would say that the truck drivers are paying the fair share, even if you think that there is that much of a difference of what they're doing per mile as opposed to a car or an SUV. Even then, they're paying to that level. But yeah, when you look at it just, going from, a couple cents a mile to 40 or whatever, yeah, it's a pretty dramatic difference when you're talking, like I said, about 20 times more that they're paying.
To quote my friend Mark Schremmer, in all, the average OIDA member contributes $42,132 per year to the Highway Trust Fund, while the average passenger vehicle driver contributes anywhere from $137 to $296 per year. Dave is just like looking like he got hit in the face with a shovel, which is how most of the truck drivers out there feel when they see that sticker shock. We have enough time here, by the way, just to I want to remind people, Mark will be joining us on a regular basis here on Nemo Nation. Did you get a chance to do anything fun for this Father's Day weekend?
Yeah, we did a few things. We actually we went to Kansas City Current game, which is the Women's Professional Soccer League. We did that on Saturday night, and then last night actually was kind of interesting thing with my family dynamic. My wife's mom's birthday was yesterday, so last week I actually went down to Pittsburgh, Kansas, and did Father's Day with my dad last week, and then we celebrated with my wife's mom for her birthday yesterday. So, yeah, it was just a little bit of everything. It's definitely been a busy couple of weekends in a row.
Ooh, your dance card was full.
Yeah, the only thing that supersedes Father's Day is your mother-in-law's birthday. And by the way, there's a lot of married men out there who would absolutely agree with that sentiment. Did you watch any of the U.S. Open?
Really, no. I didn't watch a whole lot of it. It was just, it was kind of like going from one event to the next, so I didn't get a whole lot of chance to watch too much of the U.S. Open yesterday.
Mark, really quickly, we got to let you float out of here, but tell people where they can find you on the social medias and where all your stuff is coming. What are you be looking at next?
Yeah, landline.media is where you can find all of our work, and then for Twitter, I'm at Schrem landline, just SCHREN, first letters of my last name, and then we're looking at a lot of stuff. We're looking at some things that NITS is doing with autonomous vehicles. We're working on this week. I think we're going to hear more about speed limiters, the highway bill. There's going to be a lot of things here coming in the coming weeks and coming months here in trucking.
Mark Schremmer, thanks for being a part of Nemo Nation. Thanks for being thanks for being the next show after the first show. We appreciate you. Love having you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys asking me.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Thank you so much.